I'm Caress Clegg, and this is Ready, Set, Return, a video to share information on the 2020-2021 opening school year plan. Today with me, I have Ann Gibson, Chief Communication Officer for New Hanover County Schools. Thank you for being with me today, Ann, Ms. Gibson. We know parents have a lot of questions about the return to school this year, and several are about how we will keep them informed and up to date. Can you tell us a little bit about the updates will be and how that information will be delivered to parents?
Yes, thank you for having me here today. We are building out a ready, set, return area on our website, www.nhcs.net. And that is going to have kind of be our central hub of information for school opening for the fall. We're going to have resources related to remote instruction, to the state plans A, B, and C, and COVID-19 resources as well.
Awesome. I know back in March when we first let out, there were almost daily Connect 5 or all calls that went out. Will there be a limit to the number of calls that go out with the reopening plan for this year?
We're sensitive to the fact that those mass notification calls can be overwhelming for families, and so we will try to limit those to the most essential communications. But we do feel as we head into the fall, people want more information rather than less, and so we will be using those. They're a very up-to-date, current, and one of our most widespread channels to reach our families and our staff. So we will be using those again, so look for those calls, but we will try to limit them to the most essential information that everyone is going to want to get.
And where can parents, families, students, and even staff members go to get this up-to-date information?
Well, I did mention our website. That's going to be a great resource for people, as will our social media channels. We are very active on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Also our YouTube channel. We plan to load instructional videos in terms of health and safety measures, the 3 W's, and so forth. So those will all be good avenues to check in, make sure that everyone should make sure that they follow our social media accounts for those up-to-the-minute updates.
Okay. And you mentioned the district website, and I know each school has their own individual site as well. Will the information provided on the district website be linked to individual school sites as well?
Yes, we're going to work closely with principals to have the district website and school websites work in tandem, and they are linked at the top of the pages. That navigation is easy to toggle between the two, so you should be able to get the information that's coming out from your school specifically, and then toggle back and forth to the district website for the district-wide announcements. I should also mention that we do plan to have all of our primary resources available in print, so we can reach our families that have limited internet access, and we want to make sure we have those print materials offered in our schools and at our summer meal program sites as well.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So the communication that is going out, will this be a district-wide push, or will each individual school be responsible for getting this information out to their families?
It's going to be a mix. As I said, we're going to work closely together. The principals and the central administration are in close contact and meeting frequently. And what we plan to do is the district-wide communications will come from central administration, and then any information that is school specific will come from the schools themselves. But the process of working very closely will be specifically designed so that we're not repeating communications, and so you're getting new information from both sources.
Okay. How will the district be addressing communications to our Spanish-speaking families?
That's a great question. We have increased our translation services, and we're placing a high priority, really our highest priority, on getting everything translated. It's not always instantaneous, but as quickly as we possibly can, translating our announcements, our press releases, our Connect 5 calls, our social media posts, so that we're reaching all of our Spanish-speaking families. We also want to make sure that everyone is aware that the Google Translate button is at the top upper right of our website, and that's another great resource to translate most all of the content that's online. And we're also going to make sure that the printed materials we're distributing will be distributed in Spanish as well.
That is very great to hear. So let's transition to the information that we'll be sending out. I know it will be going out to the masses, but how will that information trickle down? Will it go out to families first? Or will our staff have a chance to review that information before it goes out to the families?
That's a great question, and we're looking at following the same process that we did in the spring when we were first dealing with this kind of communication district-wide about COVID-19 and its impact on instruction. And so what we did at that point was we started internally, because we do feel we have such a strong, large workforce here that we want all of the employees to be well informed first, and then we go out from there to the general public. So we start out with communications to our principals, our senior leadership, and then all employees. And then after employees, we go to the community at large, and then work through media outlets.
And when we're looking and talking about parent feedback, will there be opportunities for parents to have input into the plans and how these plans are enacted?
Yes, yes. We're setting up several mechanisms to gather that input, and we will do that on a continuous basis. Some 2 survey links are going to be set out very shortly here to staff and to our New Hanover County Schools families. And that's to gather general information about reopening and what employees and families are thinking and planning in terms of the reopening and the state plans A, B, and C. And then we are also posting a community input form on our website that from the homepage should be prominent and easy to find. And that will be a mechanism for anyone to ask questions, contribute input and feedback, and we will use that as we continue to plan toward reopening, and then as we make changes throughout the school year. We might also, in the future, there might be need for town hall meetings or live call-in panel discussions or other interactive events, and we're going to look at ways to do those in person or virtually, depending on the situation that we're in at the time, so we can continue that input and two-way dialogue with the community.
So you just touched on the two-way dialogue, and you've talked about how the district will be communicating to our parents and families. How will parents communicate with us? For instance, say I'm a parent and my student is high risk, or I am a high risk parent. How can that parent share that information with the district or with their specific schools?
The best way for families to do that would be to contact their school specifically. That would be a great use of that channel of communication that's open between the school and the families that are part of that school community. And staff will work with the resources at Central Administration to address those needs.
Well, thank you, Anne, for sharing. Is there any additional information that you would like to share with our families and our viewers within the district about communication?
Yeah, I think you've touched on the major points, Chris. I just would really encourage everyone to follow the district on social media and continue to provide input and feedback and really participate in the process.
Well, thank you again for being here. And viewers, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. This week, we will be putting out other videos regarding safety, technology, and instruction coming hopefully later next week. Everyone, have a great day. Stay safe. And remember your 3 W's.